Research has revealed a knee injury crisis in the AFLW, which is having a devastating physical and mental impact on players. Women players are 9 times more likely than men to rupture an anterior cruciate ligament. That's a band of tissue that helps to connect the thigh and shin bones. An AFLW injury report found the problem only got worse between 2019 and 2020. The Deakin University study found 2 main causes in the women's game, being wrong-footed while defending and losing balance while tackling. Researchers hope the data leads to more female-specific training programs. For more, I'm joined by Tess Rowley, who's a researcher at Deakin University's Centre for Sports Research. Tess Rowley, thank you so much for your time. Just how prevalent are ACL injuries in the AFLW?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the rate is alarmingly high, being up at around 9 times more likely than male AFL players. So it's considerably high, especially when we then compare it to other female team sport rates. And it's only 3 to 4 times comparison between male and female athletes. So it's very high.
Yeah, so what are the reasons behind that? Why are they more common in women playing Aussie rules than men?
We kind of have to look at it from a multifactorial perspective. Yes, there are anatomical differences and there are hormonal changes and everything. But for females, we're looking at how they're moving in AFL. We can definitely target these areas a lot better by understanding how they're frequently doing these injuries in their sporting context.
And the injury itself is incredibly serious, isn't it? It's a long recovery and road back after surgery.
Yeah, so you're looking at about 12 months, roughly, give or take, depending on the injury. But then you're also looking further down the track with significant long-term consequences, those being like an early onset of osteoarthritis. They're also at a greater risk of secondary ACL injury. So the injury in itself is quite devastating. So as researchers, if we can understand how this injury is frequently occurring and potentially reduce the rate of it happening, we're then stopping that injury and those long-term consequences from occurring.
Yeah, so is the plan with the information that you've gathered from this study to come up with ways to prevent these injuries?
Yeah, so by understanding the injury specifically in its sporting context, we can then develop specific targeted ACL injury prevention programs for AFLW players.
And what would that involve? Is it about making the players more agile?
Yeah, so my 2 key findings, as you mentioned, were those reactive defending scenarios, so change of direction movements, agility sort of stuff, and then also looking at teaching players how to cope better in unbalanced states. So greater emphasis on those 2 key points. Yeah.
Okay, Tess Rowley, it's a really fascinating area of research. Thanks so much for talking to us about it.